Yo, 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 what's happening, guys? MetaverseMillen here. How are we all today? So, this is going to be a little bit different. Today, we're actually going to go over the Sparklet, the white paper. So, this is released on upland.me, the website. So, if you want to go check out that yourself, you can do. I will put a link in the description down below. So, we're just going to go look at it. I've basically been playing Upland for a year now. I want to go through the white paper and have a proper look at it through all the details and just give my kind of advice on it, what I think about it, and then let me know down in the comments what you think about it as well. So this will be a longer video, so if you want to skip this video, if you're not into this kind of content, like, you're more than welcome to come back to the in-game content, what I'll be filming tomorrow. But I just wanted to do some more in-depth content based on the white paper. I believe it's a big thing coming into Upland, so yeah, let's go through it together. So this white paper is a draft that has been shared with the Upland community. All statements and numbers are subject to changes prior to the final release of the white paper. So this is basically just a draft of what they think that the white paper should consist of. So Upland, one of the world's most widely adopted Web3 metaverse platforms, is making its foundational utility token Spark tradable outside of Upland's platform via the token tradability event TTE. As a layer 1 metaverse, Upland is open for players, entrepreneurs, creators and partners and developers to build and expand within and beyond its boundaries. Ecosystem partners. These ecosystem partners utilize the infrastructure and services provided by the platform so that they may focus on the value creation within the economy. Upland utilizes Spark as a resource that is required for any stakeholder to create value in the form of word building, community development, user-generated content, and unrestricted development of games, experiences, and services. So that's really cool to see how Upland's actually already started to jump onto this with all different games coming out, and in the future the games will actually continue to you'll be able to utilize Spark as well, so like Upland Kingdoms, all these other games. It'll be really cool to see more kind of ways to buy and ways to trade and ways to play these games as well. So this is looking really good at the moment. In the scope of the TTE, Spark will be mirrored by a new ERC20 token named Sparklet, with each Sparklet being equivalent to 1,000th of a Spark. I don't understand why they're doing the 1/1000th of the Spark. I thought they'd have done 1/100th of a Spark, but I guess we'll see why this falls in. I know that might get a little bit confusing if you don't know what Spark is. Spark powers everything in Upland, so you need Spark to build structures in Upland. You also will need it in the future to power cars, and I know a lot of factories need Spark to build map assets and other stuff right now in Upland. So I understand 1/1000th, so say you wanted to take 0.01 Spark out of the game, it would be one tenth one a tenth. It'll be, yeah, it's just, this is what I mean, so if it was 1/1000, so it'll be 10/1000. So yeah, so 10 out of the 1000 would be 0.01. So I don't get why it would be they don't do it as a 100, 1 out of 100. So 0.01 Spark is 1, and then all the way up to 100, but they're doing it this way. So I guess this might change in the future, but this is initializing signifies Upland's commitment to advancing its path towards progressive decentralization, where Spark holders will now be able to trade Sparklet in liquid markets. Additionally, it aims to enhance its presence and create credibility within the broader Web3 industry through the listing on top-tier exchanges, attracting a larger user base to the platform and enhancing the platform's network effects. Ultimately, Upland remains steadfast in its mission to develop the world's largest digital open economy. So that's really cool. Upland's stuck to the promise. That's why I love the game of Upland. I've been on Upland for about 13 months now, but actually seeing how they're going to continue to grow the economy, they're going to continue to stay into Upland, and just they're not going anywhere. This isn't a game what's just going to go away. This is actually something what's going to be here forever, and that's what I really love. They're taking it slow and steady, and they're actually building something really amazing in the process. Yeah, the first page is good, so we're going to go on to about Upland and the need for Spark. So this is the second part. So Upland is on its mission to build the world's largest open digital economy with a Web3 foundation, which will be pivotal part of the future open metaverse. Today, Upland is one of the most widely used Web3 platforms with 3 million registered accounts, an average of 30,000 daily active players, close to 300,000 unique landowners, and 6 million NFTs sold. So just seeing there the actual information, so every single player, an average of, they've got 2 NFTs, so every single player owns like 2 assets average in the game. I know a lot of players won't own anything, but like from this it's quite cool to actually see that details. 300,000 unique landowners, so that's cool to see as well, like 10% of the people playing. And then you can see 30,000 people logging each day, so that's 10% of the landowners logging each day. So it'll be cool to see this get up closer to 40-50,000 again like it used to be. Plans to grow Upland and obviously new competitions, and just going onto the Ethereum blockchain as well, like there was talking about in the first part, will be very, I believe I was watching the video and that, and like the way they can actually advertise themselves being on the Ethereum blockchain. They'll see Sparklet get traded and then people get curious to what Spark is, Sparklet. I do see where they're actually coming from that. It's a way to free market, like kind of marketing, so that's cool. The Upland platform was launched in 2019 as a virtual property trading game mapped to the real world. It introduced an in-game token called UpX, which can be bought for fiat or cryptocurrency at a fixed exchange rate of $1 to 1,000 UpX. UpX is not traded on external exchanges. It is used as a medium of exchange for a wide variety of purposes, such as minting properties, purchasing digital assets in the Upland store, and powering various in-game activities and masterplace transactions. Alongside its impressive growth in the community of players, Upland has transformed into a Layer 1 metaverse, delivering the foundational infrastructure of an open, immersive Web3, including identity, liquidity, currency, land, no-code NFT creation, fiat on and off ramps, and governance. This was achieved by opening the entire ecosystem to third-party developers through a set of comprehensive APIs that allow anyone to cast any type of new value into the ecosystem and also expand on their existing Upland functionality, mechanics, and services. So that's really cool to see. I love how these white papers go into detail, so it's just showing how more like the money, like you can actually go liquidity, currency, how they're focusing on the whole ecosystem. Like they're actually growing. This is the base of the game, so it's cool to see how the actual community is growing. And then as part of a strategy to enable an open agriculture and platform services for entrepreneurs, creators and developers to create new forms of value, Upland needed to solve the problem of providing a sustainable business model to support such a vast creator platform and to establish sustainable incentivization loops and network effects. The solution was introduced in 2001 with Spark, a utility token that, together with a set of tools and mechanics, allow stakeholders to create and power any non-living element in Upland. And at its core, Spark fuels all value creation in Upland. It is a resource required for world building, joint community projects, no-code NFT minting, and manufacturing of 3D map NFTs such as cars and deco items and more. So this is really cool to actually see how like Spark's actually been powering so much at the moment, like not so much but properties and like factories at the moment, and then like in the future cars and other stuff. So Spark's gonna be, if you own one Spark at the moment, like you can build a house, you can rent it out on the Spark exchange, you can do this stuff, so you can do like 3 or 4 different things with your Spark, but in the future you'll be able to do like 10 different things with that Spark, so creating a lot more value to your Spark, which will be really cool to see how you can actually do that. So yeah, that's one really good thing as well. So just 1 second and we'll go on to like part 3. Right, so part 3 will be Spark, utility and demand. So Spark, utility and demand, ecosystem participants in an open economy, including Upland players, Upland entrepreneurs and creators, third-party developers and brand partners all require Spark for a variety of functions. I love that how like Upland don't let creators come in and actually just build randomly. Like everybody has to use Spark to build the structure, so the size of the structure will actually vary how much Spark you need, obviously. So it's cool how you actually see like companies, what will come in won't just get, so everybody's on the same playing field, which is really cool like that. Upland players require Spark to build and develop their properties and neighborhoods. Coming into 2024, players will also use Spark to charge their virtual vehicles for means of travel, a core metaverse mechanic or leisure, e.g. racing. Upland entrepreneurs and creators Require Spark to build shops, factories, and showrooms to facilitate their meta ventures. Players own businesses that serve as specialized primary and secondary market shops in the economy, used as a resource for certain of user-generated content (UGC). NFTs. Upland entrepreneurs also use Spark for no-code in manufacturing, minting, or virtual assets that can be traded with other players. So that just shows you basically how the Spark is used for people who are actually building on Upland. So you can either play Upland, or you can actually go into a business creating a meta venture, and then in their meta ventures you can sell products, and if you build a factory you can create those products, and then those products are created by Spark. Obviously you need to stake Spark on your factories to create products in Upland. So third-party developers require Spark to establish map presence via dev shops, unique constructions which allow players to discover and launch the developers' offerings from within the Upland map. For visibility, Spark fuels the implementation of their zero-code Web3 and NFT strategy using the Upland platform. Partners and brands, e.g. like FIFA, Nelpa and UNICEF. Stock Car Pro Series. Need Spark in a similar fashion to Upland entrepreneurs. The partner brand creates virtual assets that would be offered to players for purchasing during events, in mini games and competitions. Spark powers the Upland brand's metaverse strategy for fan engagement, co-creation and monetization in the open metaverse. So that's just basically showing you what the Spark and the utilities for Spark is at the moment. So we'll go on to existing Spark utility. So on this one, assistant Spark utility. In Upland, Spark can either be staked, i.e. allocated to a task for a duration that it takes to complete, or coming into the near future, spent, used to achieve an immediate outcome depending on the use case. Players can also stake Spark towards other players' projects. Tasks that require staking are measured in Spark hours, time to complete a task per staked Spark, while creations that require spending are measured in Spark. Demonstrations up to the 100th of a Spark. 0.01. So basically this shows you how the Upland you can stake Spark. So like this is the way, but it's really interesting actually, like in the future you'll be able to spend it. So maybe it'll take you like 200 days to build a property with like 0.3 Spark, but if you spent that 0.3 Spark you'd have the property finished, but you wouldn't get that Spark back. So it's actually really interesting how they're like looking at this. I think that's the way they're actually meaning to go down that. Spark can be staked towards the construction of structures, NFTs, that are tethered to the property NFT on the Upland map. There are various types of structures which currently include houses, apartment buildings, factories, stadiums, cafes, showrooms and speedway pole structures. So these are all the different kind of like structures you've got in Upland. There's a lot more, but these are the buildings you can actually build with Spark. And then manufacturing. Spark can be staked towards the manufacturing of web of map items, NFTs that are visually represented and viewable on the Upland map. These items include, but are not limited to, map assets, e.g. decor, fixtures, statues, structure ornaments, e.g. decorations for Halloween, and cars and racing cars. So these are a few of the things here. Totems as well. I've got a really cool totem. Let me know in the comments if you've got any totems, or let me know down in the comments below what your Spark is going to be built for the future, what you think Spark should actually be used for, and other stuff as well. Like, engage in this video and comment down below, guys. Renting Spark. Spark holders in Upland may rent Spark out to other stakeholders who wish to use it for its utility. This can be achieved today using Layer 2 services that use Upland's developer APIs. One successful example of such tools in the UPX Spark Exchange, Undo UDN Pro, Upland Developer Network within the Upland ecosystem. So both of these are really cool. I've used these at the start. UPX Land is really cool, where you can actually go and rent your Spark out, and you can actually get some UPX for that Spark. If you don't want to actually build on the game of Upland, you can put your Spark into the exchange and actually like capitalize some UPX off that Spark. So that's one way you can actually use your UPX, your Spark, sorry, if you don't want to use it to actually build your own structures in Upland. So Spark statistics since launch. So this will be really cool to actually see the growth. So this is actually the map. You can see here from the start how many people are actually using Spark in Upland, and then you can actually see the growth. These will be when they're doing like the competitions for the big like monuments or football stadiums, and then you can actually see it going up now. So like this is really cool. All my Sparks getting built right now as well, so I continuously build. I've put in about, I think I bought 1.2 1.3 Spark, so I've basically put in about $600 worth of Spark into Upland myself. So yeah, I'm really happy with that, and I believe I'm going to hold on to that forever. I'm not planning to sell it. I just want to hold on to it and see how much I can grow and accumulate in Upland. So as of today, there are over 130,000 players in Upland who hold Spark. Spark usage in Upland has been consistently growing as more players get access to the token and more utility is introduced for the usage, as shown in the graph below. So here we need to get this 130,000 players up. There's 300,000 players who have got properties in Upland, so I don't know how that works. Wait, did they say 300,000? I think it said 300,000. I'll go back to actually have a look at the Sparklet white paper. It did say somewhere how many, table of contents about Upland. I think it was here, yes. How many properties? 300,000 unique landowners. There are over 130 players in Upland who hold Spark. So how can you build 300,000 properties if only 130,000? I guess only 130,000 players have got 2 or 3 properties in Upland. No, because it said 300,000 people own a land. Interesting. But yeah, basically you need Spark to build structures in Upland. So there's 300,000 people with... Let's have a look at that again. 300,000 unique landowners, yeah. So I'd believe this should be 300,000 players have Spark, because you need Spark to allocate to start the building structure. So yeah, basically this is going through, we'll go over to the next one, but this is showing how much Spark's actually been allocated over the time, which is really cool to see. And then the Spark roadmap. So Spark roadmap, Upland is working to increase the utility of Spark within the metaverse economy. Different mechanics for Spark spending and staking include, but are not limited to, the following developments. Energizing transportation in racing, so Spark will be used to charge any inanimate object that requires energy. Vehicles, for example, are used in Upland as a means of transportation for the entertainment and leisure, e.g. competitive racing. Legit's NFT creation. Spark will be required to spend to create any legit class NFTs. Legits are 3D NFTs that are meant for the use in internal spaces, e.g. homes, ventures, etc. in Upland or in any second layer application by third parties that are connected to the Upland ecosystem. Legits can also be made into wearables currently used with the interoperable avatars of Ready Player Me. Enhancing manufacturing capabilities. Certain asset classes in Upland will require Spark to be staked in order to create more advanced versions. For example, car creators and manufacturers will have default capabilities for the cars they are able to manufacture in their factories. Staking Spark for R&D purposes, metaphorically speaking, will enable them to manufacture better cars, e.g. faster, better handling, better Spark mile utilization. So I find this really interesting. Like in the future, once you have your factory and you're building cars, you'll be able to actually put Spark into the R&D, so you'll be able to get like better figures, like the engine, the speed, the braking, like the design maybe, like, so you'll be able to, your business, if you've got more Spark, you'll have a higher R&D, you'll have the best car in Upland. So if you're a business like Ford or Honda or a company coming into the game and you put a lot of investment into R&D because you want your cars to be better than the players in Upland, but maybe there'll be a cap, so obviously everyone can get up. There won't be one car that's just 10 times faster, or maybe there'll be like levels. I'm not really into the Upland racing, but I guess there'll be levels to what cars can actually race against each other. But the R&D thing sounds amazing. So the R&D on the cars, I'd love how, like, you can do R&D proposals on the cars, like to actually upgrade them, make them better handling, etc. It would be so cool if you can do like, not R&D, but on the properties, like the rent, all this stuff I'm talking about, where you can actually add more Spark on, and maybe it would help, like different ways. I just want them to actually build more utility for the structures. That will be really cool to actually see you can do more with the structures to make money, and maximising UpX earnings potential. Players who own properties in Upland enjoy UpX earnings that may be amplified by completing property collections. In the future, new mechanics may be introduced where players need to meet certain property development thresholds, which require the use of Spark to achieve in order to realise the full potential of these earnings. developer APIs. Upland will introduce the ability for developers to ask their users to spend or stake Spark within their offerings through the Upland Developers API. So that will be cool when actually you can use Spark in other games like what aren't just Upland. So yeah, looking forward to seeing that in the future. Future utility, Spark will forever remain the key resource for all in-anime objects and tasks that require energy input. As the Upland ecosystem grows and involves the new features together with the growth and expansion of Upland's developer network, Spark will continue to be utilized in new ways that reinforce its value and expand its usefulness. So it's cool how, like, that's what I was talking about earlier in the video, how Spark's not just set of these things in the future. There'll be so many more different things you can actually use Spark for. So if you've invested in Spark now, it should only mean more like benefits for your Spark. So you've spent the money already, and then maybe in the future there's something what comes out what makes players a lot of money, and maybe Spark doubles in price. Maybe one Spark becomes like $900, is it $920? Something like that, you know. If it doubles in price, it might, like, Spark might become so valuable, and they might like cut it off from the shop, so it might go up in price. It might not just go down, you know, you never know. And then future utilities, so yeah, we've read this through already. So yeah, the future utility is just going to keep growing and expanding, so that's cool. Right, tokenomics and vesting schedules. Right, Sparklet and Spark. A Sparklet effectively equals 1,000th of a Spark, one Spark. Sparklet tokens only exist on Ethereum, whereas Spark tokens only exist in Upland on the ESO blockchain. As part of the Upland platform, Sparklet tokens may be uploaded from Ethereum to Upland with a minimum requirement of 10 Sparklet per reclaim transaction, in which case they will be converted into Spark at times 1,000th value, where C Spark totems may be reclaimed back from Upland ESO to Ethereum, in which case they will be converted into Sparklet at 1,000 times the value. I guess you have to do 1/1000th, but I guess that's going to really confuse people, especially if you're just getting into like using Ethereum and other stuff. You know, this might confuse a lot of people. I know it is basically, once you understand it, you should understand it, but not everybody understands stuff, so yeah, this might be a little bit funny for people. Token supply: a total and infinite supply of 1 billion Sparklet tokens will be issued on Ethereum. These tokens will be mirrored by 1 million Spark that will be minted in Upland EOS. The amount of Spark that is under ownership in Upland, either by player accounts or the broader community through the accumulated spent Spark account, will always be exactly equal to the amount of Sparklet that is present in the escrow on the Ethereum bridge. So that's cool, like 1 million Spark. 1 million Spark. So I don't know if there'll be 1 million Spark altogether, or there'll be 1 million Spark plus whatever they've been sold on the shop at the moment. So 1 million Spark. It's like $460 million. Plus what they've already sold. Yeah, if you don't, if you think Upland's going anywhere, you're crazy. Like, this is mad. 1 million Sparks. That'll be really cool to see how that goes. Sparklet Spark in circulation. Spark in circulation is defined as a total amount of liquid Sparklet owned by Ethereum accounts, plus the total amount of Sparklet and escrow, both hot and cold, on the Ethereum bridge. Sparklet accounts and vesting schedules. Upland Treasury. Upland Me Inc. will have Sparklet tokens vest to this amount to be used for the purpose of supporting the continued maintenance, operations and growth of the Upland platform, as well as any other causes it deems as beneficial for the Upland ecosystem. In a potential path for the full decentralization of Upland, the Upland community, represented by a DAO or other form of system of governance, will obtain authority over this pool. Incentives and awards. Upland Me Inc. may use tokens from the incentives and awards allocation to encourage engagement and participation among Upland players. These can be activities such as, but not limited to, consecutive sign-in bonuses, level ups, live events, competitions, missions and treasure hunts. Upland Me Inc. may tweak and update the mechanicisms and value for incentives and awards at any time to comply with its goal of maintaining a stable overall economy in Upland. So that's really cool to see how they're still keeping the awards, and they're keeping the reason, like, you get your rent, you get your awards, you can treasure hunt if you want. There's just so many different ways to earn money. It's cool how they're staying with that as well. So token grants and adopting communities, game platforms and brands. Upland Me Inc. may use tokens from the ecosystem and grants allocation to incentivize growth. These may include grants to different communities, games, platforms, brands, and any other partners that use the Upland platform as a means to execute or expand their Web3 strategy using Upland's developer API. MetaVenture ecosystem and zero-code NFT capabilities. Spark grants may also be used to incentivize developers to use Spark staking in their products through Upland APIs. Advisors and supporters. Upland may use tokens from the advisors and supporters allocation to incentivize players such as entities that provide marketing and market making services, entities such as centralized exchanges for their listing services, and other advisors and supporters. In the case where vested tokens are not utilized and advisory purposes 12 months after vesting, Upland may roll over the tokens to its treasury allocation. Existing Upland owners. These are Spark tokens that are already owned by existing players on the Upland platform. At TTE, these tokens will be considered as already uploaded to Upland. See bridging from Ethereum to Upland. Liquidity. So Sparklet is the account. Sparklet in this account will be used to liquidity purposes by market makers to support the trading of Sparklet tokens. So there's Upland Treasury, vested, unlock TTE monthly vested, Upland Treasury and active rewards, ecosystem grants, advisors and supporters, existing Upland owners, liquidity, and total 100%. So you can see here the rewards is going to be a quarter, Upland Treasury is going to hold 0.4, later 40%, and then the ecosystem grants, advisors and supporters, existing Upland owners, so 5.7% is owned by Upland players already, and liquidity 5%. So this is basically how much is actually the Spark. Vesting schedule, advisors, rewards, treasury, Spark owners. So here we go, sustainable vesting. Anticipated demand for Spark is poised to surge within the Upland community, aligning closely with the increasing number of daily participants in Upland activities and ongoing introduction of further applications for Spark. Due to the dynamic nature of this trajectory curve of this evolving ecosystem, the concept of sustainable vesting schedules takes center stage in this white paper. The pioneering vesting framework introduces a dynamic approach that factors in both the Upland Treasury and incentive and reward tokens allocations in a scenario of zero growth from the time of the TTE. Both allocations will vest over a 30-year period. 30 years, so they're actually planning, like, see, this is what I mean about Upland, it's going to be a long game. So if you're putting in now, like, this is going to be where it is, like, stocks go down, stocks go up, it's like, yeah, the time like Upland, I really do see this going into something really amazing in the future, and I'm so glad that I can buy at the price I can right now, how Upland is in the market. Facilitating the release of higher volume of tokens each month. So the yardstick for growth will be the average count of daily active wallets within the Upland ecosystem, assessed over monthly intervals. Wallet counts will exclude Sparklet token holders on Ethereum. Notably, once a growth milestone is attained, it becomes a permanent accomplishment, impervious to any fluctuations that might temporarily occur beyond the time of achievement. So we map here. I'm gonna just act like I actually understand what's going on, but yeah, we're just looking through it. I don't have any clue whatsoever what that means. Right, management of sustainable vesting schedules. The authority responsible for the potential contraction of the vesting schedules when growth milestones are hit will be delegated to an independent third party, e.g. a legal trust that will be a necessary signatory for any exchange TOTH vesting schedules. Yep. Managing accumulated spent Spark. Spark that is spent inside of Upland, e.g. for the purposes of creating legit NFTs, will be transferred to and transferred to and accumulated in a dedicated account in a period cadence that will be determined in the future. The Upland team will work with the community to form a proposal and recommendation about what should be done with the accumulated spent spark, e.g. have it burned, transfer to either grants to incentives, allocation, or any mix thereof. The proposal will then need to be voted on and approved by the community prior to execution. So this will be cool. So when you actually spend your spark, so like in the future you'll be able to spend spark instead of just like rent it out to build stuff. So if you want to properly build right now, I guess you can spend the 0.3 spark instead of staking it, or whatever the spark amount is. And then that spark, what you've spent, does that go to new players? Does that get burned? Does that get put into competitions? Does that go back into the pool where you can buy? That's what this is about. So updating tokenomic partners in the future. The white paper serves as a foundational document amid a forging alignment between Upland's operator, Upland Me Inc., and the present, as well as prospective participants within the Upland ecosystem. It is acknowledged that the ecosystem evolves, different scenarios might emerge that necessitate adjustments to the tokenomic parameters presented. To effect any modifications to the tokenomic partners parameters deleted in this white paper, the endorsement of the Upland community through a straightforward majority vote will be mandatory, adhering to Upland's government's directives and detailed here. I need to learn to I need to learn to spell, man. Like it's like ChatGPT's just like writ the whole thing. It's like ecosystem divergent scenarios might emerge. Right, next one, implementation. Let's have a look at this quickly. Bridging from Ethereum to Upland. Upload and Sparklet. Sparklet may be uploaded from Ethereum to Upland EOS in the demotion and demonetization of Spark. Sparklet convert to one Spark. The following requirements need to be met for an Upland player to upload Sparklet. Right. Players has status of Uplander or above, i.e. not a visitor status player. Players have connected a MetaMask wallet to their account. Players must be in good standing, e.g. not in Alcatraz. During the Upland process, a player will initiate the upload throughout the Upland platform with a connected MetaMask or other wallet. The player will then be responsible for signing the transfer of Sparklet to an Upland escrow account and paying for Ethereum gas required for the transaction. A completed Upland account action includes the transfer of the Upland Sparklet to escrow and the transfer of the equivalent number of Spark from the mirroring account to the player's Upland account, all through automated smart contracts. Bridging from Upland to Ethereum, reclaiming Spark. Spark may be reclaimed from Upland ESO back to Ethereum in the forms of Sparklet. The following requirements need to be met for an Upland player to reclaim Spark. Players have the status of Upland or above, i.e. not a visitor status player. Players have passed KYC requirements. Players must be in good standing, can't be in Upland Alcatraz. Players has connected a MetaMask or other as per Upland's integration roadmap wallet account. For Spark that was earned or purchased in Upland, the amount of Spark being reclaimed must be less than or equal to the amount of Spark that has been staked in the Upland, for a minimum of 72 Spark hours per each one Spark in the 3 months previous to the past 30 days at the time of reclaim. This constraint does not apply to any other amount that has been uploaded. Players have significant UPX to pay for gas fees allocated within the reclaim. A complete reclaim action includes, through smart contracts, the transfer of the reclaimed Spark back to the mirroring Spark account and the transfer of equivalent number of Sparklet from the Ethereum Bridge escrow account to the player's destination Ethereum address. So that's just basically showing you like what the requirements you need to meet to actually be able to get your Spark reclaimed back to the Ethereum. So yeah, bridging and operator account transfer cooldown. Within the bridge implementation in both directions, there will be a 48-hour cooldown for transfer execution. Even though the bridges follow the tightest security protocols and are subject to public audits, this service has a final layer of defense where any potential vulnerability may be discovered and its implications prevented in due time. migration of the existing Spark contract. For the sake of enabling the proposed bridging mechanic, as Upland will migrate the existing EOS-based Spark contract to an Upland EOS-based smart contract that will not allow for the minting of new Spark tokens on EOS, reflecting the non-inflationary pre-minted supply. So basically, once they actually do mint these million Spark, I guess they're not making any more at all. That'll stop inflation going up, so the Spark will actually be worth what it is, which is really cool to see. And then token sales and disruptions. So this is basically how they're actually going to be able to sell the tokens and how it's all going to get distributed to all the players in Upland. Up until now, Spark has only been sold to Uplanders inside of Upland. Following a launch Sparklet, there will be 2 methods of sale. So you will still be able to get it in Upland through Sparklet exchanges. Upland Me Inc. may conduct programmatic sales through centralized or decentralized exchanges that will not exceed 2% of the global Sparklet trading volume. Inside Upland, Upland Me Inc. may sell Spark inside of Upland at the current market price as made public through exchanges that trade Sparklet. Furthermore, Upland Me Inc. may offer certain amounts of Spark that may carry a discount compared to market price, where discount tokens are required to be staked for prolonged periods of time before they may be reclaimed back to Ethereum and converted into Sparklet. Rewards. Players will have the opportunity to win Spark in mini-games, competitions and other events. Other ways to obtain Spark will be through various incentive schemes such as the currently established daily sign-up bonus. So that's cool how they'll actually keep the daily sign-up bonus. I didn't know if they'd be giving that away or actually keeping that, but it's cool how they're actually keeping the bonus. I log in every single day, so if you don't know already, if you log into Upland every single day, you'll get between 0.01 and 0.05 roughly a Spark every week, so well worth it when $4.60 is 0.01 Spark. So yeah, I got basically $13 worth of Spark the other day, just for like signing in every single day. So yeah, go check that out if you've not already. And then keeping the Upland economy protected. So this is really cool. This is like why I actually invest. I've invested $5,000 into Upland. I've actually like grown the account up to like, what are we sitting at now? I'll have a look on here so I don't actually have to go off the Upland. I know I can click over here, but I just want to try and stay on this if I can. I don't know why, but I am. Then 7.856, so you can see there, this is what the account's actually sitting at now. So just growing this account, it's actually good to see how, because there's no point me investing if the economy is just going to crash and then all this money. Think how many people have actually invested money into Upland. So this is very important for players who have actually invested a lot. So this is not financial advice, but yeah, this is where I can start to relax at night. Keeping the Upland economy protected. Having Spark tradable in the form of Sparklet may bring macroeconomic effect that need to be considered. Guess Dirk wrote this. For example, in a favourable macroeconomic environment, Sparklet market prices may fluctuate up, making it less accessible for Uplanders. For the reason, Upland Me.Inc. maintains the authority to tweak Spark-related economic parameters within Upland in reaction to macroeconomic conditions such as, but not limited to, the amount of Spark hours required for construction or particular structures in Upland, the amount of Spark hours required for manufacturing of particular map assets, the amount of Spark required to create legit NFTs, the amount of Spark hours required to charge a particular vehicle. So this is really interesting here. So this means, say Spark goes up to $1,000 for one Spark, they would be able to half the amount of time it would take to actually fulfill what you're trying to fulfill with that Spark in the first place. So say it was going to take 300 days to build a house with one Spark, and then Spark doubles in price. It means it would only take me like half the year to build it, because Upland will take away, they'll like, instead of needing like one Spark for 1,000 hours, you'll only need one Spark for 500 hours, if you get what I mean. So Upland can't change the price that the market's set at, but they can change how the properties, how much Spark the properties need to build and how quick they build. And so yeah, they'll keep it. So even if it's $1,000 for one Spark, it's like, whoa, only one Spark, but that one Spark might be able to do twice as much. So yeah, it's cool to actually see that. They won't use it as much, I guess, but it'll be cool to see if it does. Like, small players can still build properties in Upland without waiting years for their property to be built, and investors just coming and buying all the Spark up and then like driving everyone out. So yeah, With sufficient data available, Upland may create a monthly rule according to which it will adjust the parameters, e.g. when the Sparklet market price has altered by more than 20% in a given month in either direction, these parameters may be adjusted in the subsequent month. So if it basically goes 20% up or 20% down, they'll start to look at adjusting the actual time it takes to build the products. And then the next one is legal compliance and disclaimers. We'll just go through it quickly. We'll just read it briefly though. Upland may be subject to the laws of multiple jurisdictions and exercises best efforts to maintain compliance. Right, I'll leave this here. I will put the link in the description down below. You can actually go look through the legal compliance disclaimers if you want. I'm not actually going to go read it all out, so you can see it's quite big here. Tokens, a community, all this kind of stuff will be actually on the website, the Upland's Terms of Service. And if you want to go check this last page out, you can do as well. So yeah, looking through the Sparklet paper, I think I'm actually gonna vote yes for Sparklet. I believe it's actually something good what's coming to Upland. Hopefully you can still, once I move past this, you'll be able to like use Spark for a lot more processes in Upland as well. It's not just going to be used for what it is at the moment. So like in the future, hopefully Spark's more valuable, and hopefully this is a way that brings more players into the game of Upland. So yeah, I think I'm actually going to vote yes. That was really good to look through. Now we've actually seen it together, so let me know down in the comments what you think. Subscribe to this YouTube channel if you find this video interesting. It's a little bit different, and we will go back to the normal content tomorrow. But yeah, that's white paper. I think I'm going to vote yes for Sparklet. Let me know down in the comments what you think, what your big questions are, and if you're going to vote yes or no. Yeah, thank you for watching, guys. I'll see you tomorrow for another video. Peace.